We are here live with UTEP head coach Scotty Walden. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us for a bit, Coach.
100%.
How are we enjoying our first Mountain West Media Days?
It's been great, first class, man. I can't say enough about just how Gloria and the entire staff run the Mountain West Conference. I mean, I think it's second to none. Just seeing the vision for this league and just seeing that being carried out, and from the time we joined the league and until now, and all the things that that they've done to enhance this conference. I mean, it's been awesome. So this has been a first class event, which I expected nothing less, and so it's been great. But we're excited. We're ready to jump in and go.
Awesome. All right, so first things first, let's talk quarterback. You named EJ Colson the starter over Raymond Moore III in May. What did you see from EJ during spring camp that made you ready to make that call?
Yeah, EJ coming in. I mean, the two things we looked for in a quarterback was a guy that has a track record of taking care of the football. B, an alpha leader, and EJ is one of those guys who's come in and he had 550 pounds, on his back squatting the other day. He's come in and just absolutely, been that alpha leader that we need. And when your quarterback's doing things like that, people really, want to follow that, right? And so we felt like, he really separated in spring enough to where, we can name, a starting quarterback. And I think when it's clear cut and a guy takes the reins like that, why not, make that decision, that call, early on. We've kind of been in our past 2 years, we've been in a position where the quarterback battle has been back and forth and close, and it's kind of drug out, but not intentionally. It's just how the competition played out. You gotta play it for what it is, and EJ really took the bull by the horns, and I've been so impressed with his leadership. I've been impressed with his work. I mean, heck, man, there's one guy that beat me to the gym yesterday in this hotel, and it was EJ Colson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a grinder, and a great leader and a great human being. So we're very excited to have him as our starting quarterback.
All right, and then with this being UTEP's first year in the Mountain West, a lot of players and fans are going to be heading to states and stadiums that they've never been to before. What does this move mean for the Miner faithful, and what stadium or place in this year's schedule are you most excited to see in person?
Yeah, man. I mean, first off, I'll tell you, man, you're always excited the Sun Bowl. No place like the Sun Bowl, man. So I'm gonna be a homer on that and tell you that. But I'll say this, our fans and are so excited to reignite, old rivalries. I mean, like just to be able, for our fans to come to the stadium and we're playing Nevada, right? We're playing, Hawaii, right? We're San Jose State, teams that they're used to playing, that they know that are in our regional footprint, teams that ignite that the old rivalries of UTEP and the WAC days. And so if I had to pick one, going on the road, fired up to see the environment. I mean, I think that I just think the Albuquerque. I think like going to New Mexico and that being in close proximity and that being a rivalry. I think that's always. I think that's just going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a fun environment. But we're excited to be in the league.
Sure. All right. So I did want to ask you about your running back room. Or if you count Cam Thomas. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Is depth a concern at that spot, or are you confident in the four that you have to stay healthy and productive?
No, and actually we've acquired some guys, even post spring, that I'm really, really excited about. And so, that room and the offensive line room were two rooms that we were dedicated to, flipping, if you will. And we have some young talent in those rooms that we are really confident in the future in building, but there was a gap, and we needed to fill that gap with some transfers to get those younger guys ready. And so we brought in 6 transfer offensive linemen, and we brought in 4 transfer, running backs essentially. So 2 additions that we added this past spring will increase that room to about 6 guys total. And also too, we have a position called minor back, which is really unique, and where a lot of people train the tight end, right? They train the tight end to, you got to know the blocking scheme, you got to know pass patterns. I mean, the tight end is the ultimate hybrid. Think of the minor back as the ultimate hybrid running back slot receiver. And so Cam Thomas is a perfect example. So he's a guy that, he knows all of our passing game. He can flex out in the slot, but he's also a guy that knows all the protections in the running game. So it allows us to have a diverse player to be able to maneuver him around. So we count that minor back too in that running back room, kind of as a split guy, if you will. So we're excited to have 6 guys in that room.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That definitely makes a little more sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like I was going over the official roster and I was like, I can't imagine there's only 3 guys in this room. It
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
a little
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, for sure.
All right. So, like many Group of Six programs, UTEP hasn't been immune to transfer portal pirates from the Power Four. With you guys now moving a step up on the ladder now by joining the Mountain West, do you think it may be easier for you guys to keep your top talent in the minors program?
I definitely do. I think you're always going to battle whenever you have an elite player, right? I mean, look, the money is so crazy at the Power Four level that when young men get offered that amount of money or enticed to get in the portal for this amount and the things we're dealing with, I just think your top players, it's always going to be difficult to retain them. It does not mean you wave the white flag, and we certainly won't wave the white flag. We will fight to retain our top talent and our best talent every single year. I just think when you have an elite player, it's going to be hard with the amount of money that's being thrown around. But I'll say this: being in the Mountain West Conference opens up a whole new door, especially for a program like ours, from a resource standpoint. And we've already seen the benefits of the increase in revenue share distribution, and the ability to go out and compete for top level talent at the G5 level. So I think that's going to give us the ability to fight and to retain more guys. Like this year, a guy Ashton Coker, Justin Content, Cody Lowe, who was here at Media Days, Xavier Smith, one of our stud safeties. I mean, those 4 guys, in addition to several others, were being poked and prodded to go play elsewhere for bigger money, and we were able to retain them, which were massive wins for our program and our defense specifically, this year. So I think that's only going to enhance and increase as we get deeper into this league and unlock different levels of revenue distribution.
Absolutely. So I did want to ask you about Jaden Wilson, who of course you brought here. The former New Mexico transfer came back to his hometown, had a career year with 92 tackles. With Micah Davey now gone, is his role going to be expanded as a senior, and what are your expectations for him in 2026?
100%. Jay, listen, if I'd been the head coach, he's coming out of high school, I wouldn't have let that joker leave El Paso, man. He'd have been a minor through and through. That kid he embodies our culture, Code Blue, our core values, the brand, fearless, fast, physical football. He embodies it all. He's a team captain for us. His role is definitely going to expand, not only on the field but off the field, and it already has. I mean, the team feels his leadership. He's one of those guys that foot's on the line, we have a false start, whatever, he calls it out. I mean, and he's an unbelievable leader for our program. And so he is definitely going to be spearheading our Orange Swarm defense. When you lose a guy like Micah Davis, it's hard to replace that production. But when you have a guy like Jaden that is, dang near just as productive, and he's super talented, he's able to bring on the next guy. And I think, one guy's Garrett Hawkins, who's coming back from injury.
You mentioned him as well, yeah.
Yes, sir. Garrett he's an absolute alpha male. He came with us from Austin Peay. I've been so impressed with his leadership. I mean, he is the alpha of our defense. Him and Jaden together, and he's extremely vocal. He's extremely physical. We had 15. I've never been through this. And again, I own our record. There's no deflection of responsibility here. I promise you. But there are variables in football. We play a tough game, and some years you get hit with it. We had 15 season-ending injuries last year. 13 of those guys are back, including Cam Thomas, Garrett Hawkins. And so we're so excited to have our guys back, and that's been a really, really huge thing, staying healthy through the spring and the summer. And Garrett's been instrumental in that. But Jaden Wilson's role is going to expand, and he's already done a fantastic job of embodying our culture and being an elite leader for our program.
All right, that's all I got, Coach.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for the question, man. Thank you.
No,
yeah,
that was wonderful.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah.
Great to pick your brain a little bit more about the team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate you, man. You need anything, let me know, okay?